Hey everyone, Pastor Chris here. Welcome to the Poolside Chat. Boy, did I start some conversation. So, last Saturday I talked about compassion, lack of compassion we see today. So it seems, all over society. And I said I would encourage people, and one of the encouragements I made was for fathers to be there for their kids, for men to be a role model, for the boys and girls today, men and women. I went back, Genesis 3:16. Genesis is the story of God and Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden, where God had this perfect world. Perfect. And then the fall came. Man thought he knew better than God. And he didn't want to listen to God, he wanted to follow his own ways. Sin. Genesis 3:16, God is talking to man, talking to the serpent, the snake, talking to Eve. And Genesis 3:16, to Eve he says, and your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. This has caused a lot of, you say, hermeneutical differences, but a lot of conflict on what this verse means. And one thing, let me start from the beginning. One thing it does not mean is that men rule over women. Does not. And I'm not going to go into the different interpretations of this verse, but one thing that is consistent over all interpretations is this was the beginning of a conflict between men and women. And beginning of a conflict. One of the effects of the curse. Conflict. There are roles that men and women have. Both in society and culture and in marriage. But one of the things as a follower of Christ we do have is we are an example and we are servants. We are here to serve others, to lead others by example, to sacrifice. And by failing to be there for the kids and people today, by failing to be that godly example, that idea of what strong men look like, by serving others, by protecting, by helping, by sacrificing, I want to propose that is one of the reasons we have a lack of compassion, because we have left God and we have men have I don't want to say it, failed to show people what God looks like through our life. Again, like I said, sacrifice. You know, you call it servant leadership. I don't know if it's still a thing. There was a thing once in management circles about servant leadership. It came out of the Bible. But that's what we're called to be. Christians, men. To lead, to do the hard stuff. And the values that come with it, hard work. And out of that comes compassion and thinking about others higher than ourselves. So I think there was some misunderstanding. I didn't say that men are leaders. Well, let me take that back. I didn't say that men are to dominate. I know toxic masculinity is kind of a buzzword today. But that kind of leadership is just true. And it comes out of Scripture. And that's what I mean, because I think, man, if we are out there and we show people what an example is and what leadership and sacrifice are, putting others before ourselves, I think we have failed this generation by not doing that. And what I mean is you can take it from anywhere. Take it from bringing your family to church. Take it from bringing yourself to church. Take it from acknowledging God is there over us, leading us. Take it that we are submitted to God, which is leadership. You know, I think, and I'll share this with you. Let me close. I remember reading a story. And it was a young female reporter, young, under 30. So out of journalism school. And she was writing an editorial, and I can't even remember. I was in Washington Post. I was living in D.C. I do know that. And she talked about Christmas. And she talked about dads. And for whatever reason, something happened to the Christmas tree. I don't remember if it was a short in the lights. I don't remember if it was a candle. I just don't remember. But the tree caught on fire. And her dad heard everyone screaming. And her dad ran down, grabbed that tree burning, ran outside in his underwear, and threw it in the snow. And he went to come back in, but the door was locked, and you've got the neighbors out wondering what the commotion is. And they all laughed at her dad, her too. Because it was funny. And I think somebody's at the door. And in this article, she remembered that event with fondness because that was her dad. The implication being, that's what leaders do. That's what men do. And let people laugh at you, let people mock you, but you will stand up and do what's right to protect those around you. So, I thought of that as I prepared for this. Anyway, that's the end of Compassion. Thanks for the feedback. This is actually really, really good. Let me know your thoughts, and keep your questions coming. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Instagram at FL Compass Church. Thanks for joining. Go out and enjoy the day. Be blessed. See you Saturday.